welcome to Tier 1 of RCRL. Today we're racing at Austria. Sorry for the delays, we had some technical difficulties setting up the stream. But yes, welcome to the stream everyone, and hopefully we can have an exciting evening watching all the races that I've put in the work this week to give us a show. So taking a first look at the qualifying one here, we can see that it is very tight up at the top, with only what appears to be 1 second separating the top 8, and only half the field has gone out for a lap. So it looks like we are going to have an exciting qualifying through qualifying 1, from qualifying 1 through to qualifying 3. Let's sit with Work Fusion for his flying lap here. He's already set a time of 104.4, which was a solid time to go, but he's decided to go out again on the soft tire. So far the lap looks relatively clean, solid through sector 2. Let me see if I can get up the track map over here. Solid showing so far in the lap, looks clean, but looks like he's going back into the pits. How about we go on to Weil for his hard lap? He's already set a time as well. Like there's another flag up, probably set off by him. The track. It's slowed down to looking around 3 as well as R7 Loop. Hold on. I've been notified that my mic audio is a bit soft. I'm gonna see if I can give that a fix. Hopefully that can fix my audio for you guys at home. Okay, we are off for a while, about to start his flying lap. Really solid through turn 1. Trying to use the McLaren there for a turn. Fair play. Can't blame him for it. How does it look like going through turn 3, I believe it is, or turn 2? Pretty solid. Solid first sector. He has already set a time. Probably fast enough to get him into Q2. But I guess he is going on to see how much he can improve it by. Solid in sector 2. Very solid through sector 2. Going into the last sector is looking very clean there. Through the second to last corner. Very solid. I'm sure this is going to be a solid time for him now. And there we go, fastest lap, 1:04. Almost there. Half a 10. Very solid lap for him. I'm sure he's very happy with that. Let's see who else we can move on to. Masha looks like he is on his already halfway through his flying lap here. Let's just check how he's off. You're a little bit shaky there on the curve there, but looks to pull it in quite cleanly. And it does not look like he improves. Looks like XTR Radio is also attempting to finish his lap. He is already check if I can check on Thomas's lap here and see if he can improve and potentially get into the top 15, which should be perfectly possible considering that there's more than 5 people that haven't set a lap. Ooh, I can't see what happened there. He's only gone up to P16 even though the person above him retired with no time set. Maybe. Oh no, sorry. He did improve to P2. Apologies there. Looks like he is very excited with that lap. He's gonna throw out some donuts over there. XTR Red is safe. Looks like he's about to set another lap as well. I believe I saw BTSR Jensen coming out for a lap here. He is not safe yet, but all he needs to do is beat a time of 1 minute 24 seconds to get through into Q2. I'm more than positive that he should be able to do that quite easily as long as he doesn't invalidate and keeps it on the track. Looking good so far. Very solid through sector 2. Coming into sector 3 is looking alright. Holds it all quite nicely to the last corner. Does not appear to have invalidated. And he improves his position there to P15. Looks like the second McLaren of MC Hammer probably going to go out for the second lap. It appears that he's invalidated and he's going to go out for a second half lap. He is on 3 lap old soft tires, so the performance in them will probably deteriorated a little bit, but I'm sure if he gets a clean lap in, he'll be able to outdo the Haas of Luke, who's about to do his fast lap now. And I think we should come and sit on board with him for his lap. Solid turn 1 to the DRS zone. Through turn 2 is looking quite solid. Not a lot of wheel spin. Should be a great drive through the straight and into the tight corner. Yeah, it's really corner 4. He's looking good in sector 2, yeah, and it looks like he got a faster sector 2, I'm sure. Coming through the second to last corner. Who appears to have kept it quite clean. Past the finish line. He does improve into P7. Solid lap. You've got to be happy with that one. And it looks like we have our 15 drivers going into the Q2. With MC Hammer not being able to improve. Looking on our safe and set. Once Feel the Power crosses the line, we should be ready to go into Q2. Very clean through the second to last corner. Ooh, and just a PS7 validated over there on the final corner. but it's irrelevant considering that he is safe. And that lap was purely academic at that stage, considering that no one could uproot his position in the top 15. So if we can quickly take a look at some of the times here. It looks like Wow had 2 very clean, sharp laps. Sector 1, Sector 2 and Sector 3 all look very strong. And honestly, in the top few positions, they're not really split by much. It is going to be a very tight, it's going to be a very tight Q3 once we get to it. Yeah, I'm very excited to see what Q2 has to bring. So our top 15 going into Q2 are Weil, Thomas Ord, Dublin, Gunan Rav, Raga Ute, Feel the Power, R7 Luke, XTR Red, Matt Fal, Wedgie, Lopu, apologies if I mispronounced that, KG, ETSR Jensen, Antonio, and Merc Fusion in the Alfa Romeo to finish up the top 15. Relegated, we have MC Hammer, who just missed out but doesn't seem to set a very competitive time, and the bottom 4 didn't seem to set a time at all, which was both Aston Martins and both Williams. I was alerted earlier that my microphone's volume may be a little bit soft. I wanted to ask if by any chance the chat can give me a thumbs up if everything sounds alright, or if I can improve the sound quality in any way. It looks like Raga Ute is the first one to exit the pits and go out for his flying lap, or his out lap in Q2. Interestingly, Raga has decided to go out on the mediums, going for the alternative strategy, which has proven to be very strong in F1 2021. Obviously the risk is going out on the harder compound will be a lot harder to qualify with a competitive time. So unless you do have that time in hand, you should probably go for the soft, but it appears that Raga believes that he does have the time in hand to go out on the medium and still get into Q3. I guess we'll have to just wait and see on that. Okay, perfect. I can see in the chat that you guys can hear me, and that's great. Alright, here we go. Solid through turn 1. Looks like he's gonna try to get a little bit of a toe there from Weil. Probably gained himself maybe a half a tenth using the toe there. Looks like he has looks like he had a solid first sector, but it's hard to tell considering that he is the first one out on the track. Coming towards the double left-hander. There's a lot of time to be gained here in sector 2. Looks relatively clean to me. Comes through looking good. coming to the double right-hander, second to last corner. Very strong indeed. Coming into the last corner with a little bit of a toe from XTR. Red comes out with a time of 1:04.42. Very respectable on the medium tires. Very solid time. Yes, let's see who else we can jump on with. Looks like while trying to let some traffic through, and Thomas has somehow found his way off the track. It looks like he may be in a little bit of traffic here, but he's moved out the way quite nicely. Came out on the intermediate tyre, so probably wasn't going to try to set a representative time on that. Coming out to ETSR Jensen. Looks like he is setting out his flying lap. Comes through the double left-hander relatively strong. Looks clean, little touch of the curve there, but he looks like to have invalidated the lap there on the curve on the outside. Looks like he's going to go straight for another flying lap here. Let us see if we can jump on with Gunan Ravia, who looks like he's about to do a flying lap as well. We have R7 Luke about to finish his lap. Gunan Rav decided to slot in right behind the Haas, also out on the mediums as well. Coming in through, he's going to have a little bit of a slipstream. Not too powerful unless he closes the gap between him and R7 Luke. Turn 1 looked relatively clean. Ending sector. Coming powerfully through into the beginning of sector 2. Did get a little bit of that toe of the straight. Perfect through that right hand over there. Coming towards the double left hander in sector 2. A little touch of the inside curve there, and then uses a lot of the outside. Comes in close, doesn't touch the inside curve, but does use a solid amount of the outside curve. He looks to have set a faster slap in a faster sector in the second sector. Through into the double right hander, second to last corner, uses a lot of the track. Touches the inside corner, uses a lot of the track on the outside again. Comes through and sets a solid time of 1:04.3. Still in Q2, not a lot separating the top 5, with only what appears to be slightly over 2/10, 3/10 around about, separating the entirety of the top 5. And the top 10, or top 9 at least, are all within less than a second. Meaning we are due to have a very competitive qualifying tonight. It looks like Field of Power, maybe out on a flying lap. Let me quickly check if I can see. That is on the medium tire as well. Looks like majority of the people are also on the medium tire, except for Thomas, who did the earlier lap on the intermediate. Very, very solid through that left hander over there. Solid through the second left hander. Uses a lot of the curve on the outside. Solid on the right hander there. Uses the perfect amount of curve there on the inside. Coming through to improve his time to first with the rapid time of 1:04.2. Brilliant lap, brilliant lap there on the medium. XTR looks to be out on his out lap, and I assume that Thomas is too, but he too is still on the intermediate. So we'll probably not sit on board for his lap, but I think XTR's lap here is going to be something impressive. Ooh, very, very close there. Very, very close there. Hopefully he didn't interrupt. I believe it was Cage's lap too much. But let's sit and watch here as XTR Red performs his lap. Through turn 1, looking solid as he goes up the hill into turn 2. Solid into sector 2. It does appear that he got a faster sector 1, which is great. Coming into the tight right-hander of sector 2 into the double left. Very decisive in the steering, lock, quick, using a lot of the curve on the outside, and the faster sector 2 it appears. Very solid lap, but it appears that he has invalidated, and that must be heartbreaking. Very solid lap so far. It's tough to see, but it appears like he's going to go straight for another lap here and try run it back and see if he can keep the lap clean this time and keep all the performance he had up until that point in sector 3. Ooh, invalidated it again. A little bit unlucky there, but he still has some time to come back and set a more representative lap. Sits on board with KG, who looks like to be setting a lap on the soft. Ooh. Someone just said a really fast lap there that we may have missed out. Apologies to the viewers. KG on the soft should have a little bit of an advantage in terms of outright traction for this lap. Looking very solid through the last sector, and does appear to improve his time to P8, time of 1:04.3. Quite solid indeed, but still too close to the bottom 5 to feel safe at all. But potentially might have time to go switch out the tires and do a new lap. But whether or not he decides to do that, who knows. Weil looks to be going for a lap, or an out lap at least. It appears that Weil has validated the lap he's currently on. Ooh. Very good catch there. Looks like Raul's going to go into the pits and probably put on a new set of tires to try secure his position a bit better. We can look at Dublin here and see and set for his lap. He's also very close to the bubble at P9. Probably not feeling too safe at all with that, but let us just see how. Let's just see if we can improve going into his flying lap. Coming into turn 1, looks solid. Uses a solid amounts of curb there. Do not scrub too much speed on the hill all the way up to turn 2. Coming into turn 2, yeah, it's all about the traction. Very solid amounts, no wheel spin at all. Looking very good coming down into the tight right hander in sector 2. Solid little touch of the curve there. Little touch of the curve on the outside, very, very clean indeed. Coming into the double left hander. Touches the curve on the outside, uses a solid amount of the curve on the outside. Very solid through sector 2 there, with the purple sector, indicating the fastest sector of the session. Ooh, a little bit off track there, but doesn't seem to look like he invalidated. Very lucky there. Comes across the line in P2, and that's a lap you have to be happy with. definitely safe for Q2, and I'm sure he is extremely happy with that lap. We are going to, it looks like Green and Rav and XTR Red are both on track to set another lap. Green and Rav is on 4-lap all tires, so the performance in them must probably be a bit diminished compared to a fresh set of tires, but you can still set a good lap, even though it may be significantly harder on the older tires. Let's just check what time we get here. Doesn't look to be an improvement here. We're gonna stick quickly with XTR Red and see if he can improve on those fresh red soft tires. Very solid through the double round cylinder. Coming across the line, pushes, gets the fastest lap of the session with the 1:04, almost one, beating out Feel the Power on the mediums by approximately 300ths. This is great news for XTR Red, but it just pushes the bottom 5 of the top 10 closer and closer to the bubble. Weil looks to have been pushed completely out of the top 10 and is about to set a representative lap on the soft tire, and improves even further with a time of 1:04.06, beating out XTR Red by exactly 300. And it now appears that there is a bit of a scramble to set some representative laps and secure your position in Q3. We've got KG who is currently on the bubble. The Mercedes does improve and pushes KG out of the top 10 in Green and Rab onto the bubble, both of which are attempting to set representative laps. Green and Rabia seems to be fighting a bit of an uphill battle on those 6-lap old mediums, but let's see if we can pull some pace out of the well-used tire. Because of the durability, you can go a few more laps on the medium tire and set some representative lap times, and hopefully for Green and Rab this is one of those moments now. Coming across the line, it appears that he could not improve. It is all up to KG on those soft, fresh red tires, and let's see if he can beat out Green and Rav. And he does, putting him inside the top 10 and save. Matt's going into the pits, having put 0 laps on those soft tires, and Antonio in the pits. It looks like everyone has set their laps, and we have the top 10 locked in for Q3, which I am sure is going to be as tight as Q2 was. Looking at the times for Q2, we have Weil in first with a time of 1:04.06. A very solid time, 30 hundredths behind. We have XTR Red in the AlphaTauri, followed by Feel the Power in the Mercedes, followed by Wedgie in the Ferrari. We then have Dublin in the Red Bull, Jensen in the Alfa Romeo, Ragayut in the AlphaTauri, with Lapu in the Mercedes, as well as KG in the Alpine and Matt Val in the Haas. closing out our top 10. Of the top 10 finishers, only 4 will be able to use the alternative strategy, and the rest will be forced to use that soft tire. Everyone else outside of the top 10 will still be able to get their choice of tire and try get a strategical advantage through that. Looks like we have the AlphaTauri of Raga Utes coming to set the precedence for Q3 out extremely quickly. Let us see how he performs in Q3. So far we've had a very solid qualifying by everyone. Everyone's setting some really fast and representative laps. Hopefully we can continue this and and put the right foot forward for the race. Alright, Raga has just started his flying lap and is followed very closely by Weil. Raga's going up the hill into that second turn there. Hard braking zone up the hill, using all of the track there. Very solid on the traction. It does look like Weil has beaten Raga's first sector there, coming around that tight right turn. Looks very solid on the traction there, very clean, keeping it very close to the outside. Touch off the curb on the inside, and using a lot of that track on the outside. Fastest sector 2, will Weil be able to top that? And it looks like he may have, coming with Raga through into the last corner and across the line. You can see that Raga has set a time of 1:03.7, fastest time of the qualifying so far. If we sit a few seconds, we'll see that Weil was nowhere close to that time. Raga having set a blisteringly fast lap, brilliant lap, and it looks like coming out first, he has been able to do what he set out to do and set the precedence for qualifying, setting a time and challenging his competitors to try beat him. We are going to check to have invalidated. It looks like to be going for a second flying lap here. Coming across the line. It looks like he is about to set his flying lap as well. XTR red coming into the last 2 corners. Let us see how fast of the time XTR red can set. Looking clean there in that final corner. XTR red setting a time of 1:04.1. Extremely fast time. But still quite a bit of the pace compared to Raga Utes. Okay, we see Feel the Power here on Hughes' fast lap. Coming through that, looking very clean. Looks to have set the fastest sector 2. Let us see what he can do to take Raga Utes off his pedestal. Coming through the final corner here. And it looks like Feel the Power set a time of 1:03.9. very, very, very fast, but not fast enough to get him on pole position as of yet. Yeah, solid, showing by the top three, all sub 104s. Left with KG as he begins his fast lap. KG, I said it's time 104.6, quite a respectable time, but very significantly off the pace. ETSR Jensen seems to have left the session before setting a time at all. Let us sit with Raga Utes as he's on his art lap and see if he can improve on his blisteringly fast time of 103.6. Starting his lap coming through, using a lot of the track on the outside, using a significant amount of curve, and it appears that Raga Utes has used a little bit too much curve, invalidating his lap, and it appears that we're going to have to wait for Raga to go set a different lap on the second time around. We can sit here with Matt Val. It looks like he set a time of 104.2. Very solid time indeed. Still quite a bit off the pace of Raga Utes, but with the track improving, it is very possible that he does improve his time and get a lot closer to that top 2, top 3, and put his car in the first 2 rows. Very solid second sector there. It does appear that this is going to be an extremely fast time, and as it comes across the line, we see that he gets a time of 104 dead. Very, very solid time, putting himself in those top 2 rows, but I'm sure XTR Red will have something to say about that. Let us sit with XTR Red. Is he going into the pits? No, he is preparing his fast lap. He is on what appears to be very fresh set of softs. I just wanted to check if that was his first lap on the tire or not. He is the only one setting a fast lap on track at the moment, but it looks like we have a bunch of people coming out of the pits to set their last flying lap. Coming into this tight right hand over here, and it doesn't look like XTR is pushing anymore. For what reason, I'm not sure, but I am sure he will try to set a different representative lap. Let's go set and what looks to be this train with the 2 Ferraris and 2 Mercedes. Lepul leading the train. Looks like they are trying to spread out a little bit and get some space to set these laps. And there we go. I think we're going to set and watch all 4 of them as they get through. Looking up ahead, we can see such a camera angle. We can see the Ferrari following the Mercedes up the straight, up the hill all the way to hard on the braking. Looks clean. Maybe a little bit of fuel spin there, but nothing too serious. If we go ahead to feel the power coming into turn 2, he is looking good, and it is looking like the Ferrari of Wedgie is a little bit behind him in the distance. Using a little bit of a curve there on the inside and a large amount of it on the outside, setting the fastest sector to again. It appears that it was stolen from him by Weil. Coming into the last corner here, we can see that Feel the Power sets a time of 1038, beating out Wedgie. Wedgie is not able to have a comeback for that, but Weil does significantly improve his time, but is unable to beat out the Mercedes or his teammate in the other Ferrari. Alright, I can't see the time left in the session. Let me quickly get the detail away. And it looks like we have a lot of people going quite slowly on track, and also up here it looks like Wedgie is coming, Dublin, excuse me, coming into the pits. We have Matt following him in. Weil looks to have invalidated his lap, but appears to be bringing his car home into the pits very fast. Picks up the anchors just before the lap. Excuse me. And we are sitting at RCRL, coming very slowly into the pits. Those tire temps nice and low, no rushing the man. Fair enough. And he brings it into the pits. It's like, it's in the pits, and we are just waiting for the AlphaTauris, which are double stacked, to both get into their garages. And in any second we should be ready to begin the race of the evening. Apologies if you can hear me drinking. These races are just pretty long, and it'll be a bit. My mouth gets dry when I talk, so I just feel that it is necessary to just take a few sips between sessions. And there we go. Solid qualifying session here. Raga Utes went out, set the first lap, and carried the whole session
on his back, as no one was able to knock him off his pedestal with this insanely quick time of 1:03.6, followed by Feel the Power, who's going to be starting next to him with a time of 1:03.7. Wedgie and XTR Red are in the second row, followed by his teammate Weil and the Red Bull of Dublin. We then have Matt, Val, and Lapu in what I believe is the fourth row, and the last two drivers I do not get to. Apologies. I assume that the viewers of this race are comprised mostly of people who also themselves do league racing, and I do wonder if any of the viewers can tell me who they believe is going to win the race and who they would put their money on if they were betting men. So, if the viewers can tell me who you think is going to win the race, and actually not even who you think is going to win the race, but can you give me your potential top three? I think it'll be very interesting to discuss and see who we think is going to make up the podium at the end of the evening. This period now is usually set to give the drivers some time to get their affairs in order before the race. Whether that's take a quick sip or stretch your legs a little bit. It just gives the drivers a little bit of time. Obviously, the qualifying sessions are long, and especially if you were in all three qualifying sessions, you do need this little bit of time to prep for the race. Busy reading the driver's chat here, and it appears that we may have some mixed weather in this race. It will be very exciting to see how that shakes things up amongst the drivers. Oh, there you go. I just got a message about it. Just will be very interesting to see how that shakes things up amongst the drivers, and hopefully it gives us a little bit of something that we saw today in the Formula One race in Sochi. Very interesting and heartbreaking race for Lando Norris, but extremely entertaining, having the teams play such a pivotal role in deciding the strategy and essentially the fate of their drivers, as a wrong decision can be catastrophic from first to seventh, whilst correct decision can send you from essentially last to second place. And it does show that Formula One is a team racing sport, and that you, as a team, you are only as strong as your weakest link. We are out here on our formation lap. We have Raga Youth in first place, followed by Feel the Power, followed by Wedgie and XTR Red in fourth, followed then by Weil in the Ferrari in fifth. Next to him we have Dublin. Behind him we have Matt Val and Lapu, followed by KG and Jensen. In 11th we have ETSR in 11th we have Green and Rab on the medium tire, using his ability to choose his tire. We then have R7 Luke on the medium, Antonio on the medium, Thomas Ward on the medium, Merc Fusion on the medium, MC Hammer on the medium, Martin on the medium. We have Tommy on the soft, Kills Rapids on the medium, and Stone Alk himself on the medium as well. In the top 10, they are all on the soft, besides Mad Val, Wedgie, Feel the Power, and Ragga Utes. XTR Red and Wild were both disqualified from this startup session, which must be a painful pill to swallow, as you do not have the ability to warm up your tires as much as you'd hope. Alright, as the grid is finished getting set up, we can hold thumbs as the race begins, and good luck to all the drivers. It is 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Lights out and away we go. We are going to sit here with Ragga Utes, who looks to have a solid start, very solid start. Feel the Power have a solid start as well, but get away cleanly. XTR Red in third gets away cleanly, and the two Ferraris are both next to each other and appear to be safe. I'm going to pull out the position change detail over here, and it looks like we have a move there. XTR Red getting his elbows out and pushing Feel the Power off the track, compromising him down the straight and letting Wedgie take advantage as well. But he does have the inside right here, and he's not able to capitalize on that. We have Dublin clean behind him, probably looking for an opportunity. Is he going to stick his nose through here? Very sketchy corner to try and put up a move, but no, it looks like he's going to bide his time behind. We have the Ferrari of Wild looking safe, and it looks like we have some big position drops by KJ and Green and Rab over there. Must have collided. The crew looks fine, but there is a bit of a gap between him and the person ahead. It looks like everyone is processionally following each other, and there is a bit of a gap ahead of Antonio. Very close there. MC Hammer takes the opportunity to make the move on Merc Fusion, who had a large amount of fuel spin. As we go down the field here, it looks like we're going to have a little bit of some drivers getting their elbows out, as they should. Merc Fusion giving the inside car a tow, but Kills Rapid try and move around the outside. He is holding it very cleanly. Oh, very cleanly. They are alongside each other, going into the double left-hander. Oh, and there was contact, and Martin is out, and Kills Rapid gets away cleanly with that. I'm sure that the stewards will take a close look at that. Alright, going down the grid, we don't really seem to have many close wheel-to-wheel battles, but I will go to Wedgie and see if he does attempt to put a move on XTR Red with the help of DRS. Easy on the inside, clean move, very clean. There is nothing XTR Red could have done. Very solid racing, but now it looks like we are going to have to see XTR Red get his position back on that softer compound tire. We're going to have the drive out of the corner. Very clean. Right, looks like we're going to have a tight battle here between Wedgie and XTR. While this is not doing, while this may be entertaining for us, these two drivers are only doing Ragga Utes effect and letting him drive off into the distance. It does appear that they've lost touch, and it looks like Wedgie spun out on the final corner. I do feel for them in my own personal tier race. In my own personal race in tier 3, I spun out at the exact same spot. Very easy to lose the car there. But lucky for him, he was able to keep it on track and not get any damage. Looks like XTR Red now is gonna put his assault on Ragga Ute, but Feel the Power is now next in turn to make a move on him. And Dublin is not far behind them. Wyle is also there on the fringes and probably ready to take absolute advantage of any wheel-to-wheel racing that the people above them may do. Behind them we have R7 Luke a little bit further, and the smaller gap between each of the following drivers. Drivers should be clinical in making their moves, as it does appear that we may have a DRS train forming. Let us sit with Dublin into turn 1. If he keeps it clean and gets good drive out, he'll be in the perfect position to put the move on Feel the Power. I am sure he is using his DRS there. He is, and with a solid amount of battery left, he gets side by side, compromises Feel the Power's exit, and that's game. That is game. The power of DRS as well as the ERS will make that's untouchable. Is he going to try the double overtake down the straight? Oh, he is leaving his nose in there, trying to compromise XTR Red's exit, but defended successfully. And all the while, Wyle is getting closer and closer, preparing to make the move. It is looking to be a very close and tight race in the 5. Alright, and we're back again, and let us see. Dublin is very close to XTR Red and was even close enough to probably put a move down there on the inside, but the risk just wasn't worth it. He has got a gap, sends it through easily before the braking zone even. Easy move. Provided he gets good traction out here, should be safe down the straight. But it does look like Wyle is hunting down XTR Red slowly. Feel the Power seems to have taken a little step back from the race for second. Antonio is extremely close to the driver ahead, who is Jensen in the Alfa Romeo. Extremely close. Is he going to try a move into the double right-hander? Very scary move to try, but he does just flinch it, and it seems to have bit him in the butt. But the pressure he did put on ETSR Jensen does look like it made him come off track. Dropping down here to Stone Owl, you can see that he is only 3/10 behind Wedgie, and he's probably going to send a move on Wedgie straight with the power of DRS. It's tucked in behind and into the braking zone, outbrakes him, putting his elbows out as he is more than allowed to, and they have a drag race down the straight. But it appears that Stone Up, with the power of DRS, pulls away. Going up to MC Hammer, extremely close to Jensen, may attempt a move, but doesn't, and chooses better fit. We are very tight racing all up and down the field. It is extremely hard to keep track with all of it. Going up ahead, we have R7 Luke extremely close to Feel the Power. I think we are going to sit back in that battle for third/second and see the beautiful racing that is going on today. I feel R7 Luke doesn't seem to have the straight line speed he needs to make a move, but Wyle is extremely close to XTR Red, and provided he gets a good exit, may try a move, but with XTR Red within 3/10 of Dublin is getting an extremely good toe, making it extremely hard for Wyle to put a move. going back down the order. It's like Stone Alp is going to set a move on Wedgie. Very, very tight racing, clean racing, side by side, both on the medium tire. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Oh, but they both keep it on track. And the switch back of Dreams. And it looks like Stone Alp may have bit a little bit more off than he could chew, having compromised his line for the following 2 corners and losing 2 positions. It appears that XTR Red has pit on lap 9 for the mediums. It'll be very interesting to see how that turns out. Alright. XTR Red appears to be doing some really fast time, is making some really fast progress on this tire. You can just see that the improved traction is going to be giving him loads of time. Let us go back up to that battle here with Field of Power. Extremely close. Safety car, safety car, safety car. I am sure we're about to see a lot of people dive into the pits as they get the increased, the short, racing into the pits, into the pit entrance there. And it looks like Green and Rap may have a problem going very slowly, very into the pits. We'll check the order now. Let me see if I can pull up some details on everyone's tires. Alright. Very interesting stuff we have here. So it appears that the entirety of the top 8 have not pitted yet. And Dublin and Wiles tires are probably starting to feel it right about now. The first driver to have pits is XTR Red, probably putting him in net P1. And Antonio seems to have benefited greatly from the safety car. He is most likely in net P2 as long as the people ahead of him pit and he is able to beat them out. It looks like Weil, Dublin and Merck Fusion have all decided to take the pit. Dublin and Merck choosing the hard tire. It looks like XTR Red was not able to make the overtake on Dublin and Weil, even though it was because of the power of pitting under the safety car. Dublin looks to have jumped. Dublin and Weil looks to have jumped XTR Red under the safety car conditions. We have MC Hammer who looks like he is going to need a pit stop quite soon. Not too soon, but a lot sooner than the rest of the competition. We have Matt in the same position, R7 Luke in a similar position, Field of Power, and Raga Huge, who has elected not to pit under the safety car. Very interesting decision, and let us see if it does pay off. It appears that we are still waiting for a large portion of the grid to bunch back up under the safety car before we can resume racing. Very unlucky there for Thomas, who I'm not sure what did happen to him, but he seems to have retired out of the race. it seems that we are quite close to having the grid bunch back up, and we will probably resume racing on the next lap. Yes, it does appear that everyone should catch up to the safety car in the next lap. All eyes are on Rugger, Ute, and Feel the Power in the AlphaTauri and the Mercedes. What is the tactical decisions to be made by these drivers who need to create a gap big enough to beat out Dublin at Wild and XTR Red, have pits but are a few positions behind? Rugger Ute slowing down the grid and letting them bunch up, swerving left to right to warm up those fronts. There is a lot of tension here on a restart, and it looks like we had a brilliant restart. R7 had a brilliant restart as well, and was right on Feel the Power's rear diffuser. Rugger is off in the distance. Feel the Power is feeling the pressure. We have the other half of Matt very close to R7 Luke, and also there to apply some extra pressure to Feel the Power. Are we going to see anyone making a move there? It does not appear so. Dublin man has jumped into the pits and finds themselves very far behind the action. As we sit here, the latest of the late breakers. There was a lot of contact. It does not appear that he left space, but he did put his shoulders out and seems to have made the move stick. But we have a spin by the Aston Martin of Tommy. Very, very unlucky there. Let's get back up here. And it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a tussle into turn 2 if we have Wild giving a bit of a toe to the two drivers behind him. It looks like we have MC Hammer here applying pressure to XTR Red, getting nice and close. But the move on the inside by Antonio. Brilliant move, clean move, and it came out of absolutely nowhere. R7 still appears to be putting some decent pressure on Feel the Power, but has not been able to make a move stick as of yet. Antonio on those soft tires are probably going to try his best to get his money's worth out of them and get some overtakes on those competitors in front of him. Antonio is only 4/10 behind XTR Red. Is he going to put another move back to back in the same corner? Deploying the ERS, but he is stunningly low. It is unlikely he's going to have the power to catch up, but he sends a absolute dive bomb on XTR Red. Brilliant. Manages to get it stopped, manages to force XTR Red around the outside and makes the move stick on those fresh soft tires. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. Looks like we have Wedgie right on MC Hammer's diffuser. It looks like sparks are about to fly between the Ferrari and McLaren. Let's just see. And it looks like Wedgie's making his move, yeah. Oh, he holds it well, he keeps space, he gets the move done. Brilliant, brilliant racing on the restart. Is Antonio on the fresh tires going to make another move on Weil. It seems to be too far out, but it looks like Weil's exit is compromised, and that is 3-4-3 with Antonio making that move stick 3 times in a row in the same place on 3 different drivers. And it looks like he has R7 move in his sights next. We go down the grid a little bit. We see the Ferrari of Wedgie pushing XCR up the road, very close to XCR. Okay, also very close to the person ahead. We have MC Hammer being followed closely by Merc Fusion. I'm going to come sit here with Weil, who is very close to making a move. Or is Antonio going to make a move on Feel the Power? This is going to be some extremely, extremely good racing. Oh, he's pulled up and seems to just be a bit short. And that was a large amount of contact. He's made a move stick 4 times in a row on 4 different drivers in the same spot, but was a whole lot less clean than the others. Let us get some information on penalties here. I've been asked to sorry, apologies for the hold up. Let me just say. Alright, I'm back, so apologies. XTR Red sending a move right on the inside. Oh, and he puts his elbows out. There we go, hold on, I just need to open this here. And then invite to a game. There we go. Apologies. Ooh. Antonio is in first place, having moved up the entirety of the grid. Extremely aggressive, solid racing by the Alpine, and I'm sure it's something he is proud about, but he definitely did not make many friends moving up the order. If we sit here and look behind him, it appears that he has lost connection. Oh, it appears that race is over. Apologies everyone. It seems that we've had a little interruption into what may have been the greatest race of the season so far. I am going to check in on the Discord to see what has happened. Please may you give me a moment. Apologies everyone. It does seem that we have been so everyone who's watching the stream, I'm going to attempt to connect back to the race. I'm very, very sorry for the inconvenience, but hopefully we can get back and see some good racing and see. There we go, I've just got an invite there. Joining the session, and hopefully we can see some good racing and see how it ends up for the drivers of the session. There we go. Looks like we are back, and it's going to be very exciting to see what has happened in the meantime. Alright, we in. This is perfect. Alright, and we are back. And just to get everyone back to knowing what's going on with our drivers today, we look to have RCRL first, Antonio following, closely behind, half a second behind him, while followed by Merc Fusion, followed by Goon and Ram. We have Martin, ETSR Jensen, Ragga Youth, Tommy, R7 League, Wedgie, MC Hammer, Stone Alk in 13th, Dublin in 14th, Madball in 15th, Feel the Power in 16th, and Lepur in 17th. So, if we take a quick look on everyone's stops, it appears that Ragga Youth is in 8th but on a fresh set of tires. R7 Leagues also on a fresh set of tires, as well as MC Hammer. RCRL is on a 13 lap old set of tires, followed by Wild on 11 laps and Merc Fusion on an 11 lap old tires, hard tires. And if we can quickly see the penalties, RCRL with this astonishing 9 seconds of penalties. Wild and Merc Fusion with 3, and Goon and Rav with 0. And with 0 penalties, it is extremely possible that Goon and Rav makes something of a race, considering qualifying was not a great performance, or at least not an amazing performance, but looks like he can clutch a podium here, potentially. We have a yellow flag in sector 3. Let's look to have cleared. Merc, Goon and Rav is following Merc, but still a bit far to be making a move. Ragga Youth is not far to be making a race on ETSR Jensen, and he gets it done around the outside. Wedgie is extremely close to MC Hammer. Let us see what he can make of this race. We're just gonna set forward with Wedgie as he chases down the McLaren of MC Hammer, going very far off, very far off. And it does appear that MC Hammer has 12 seconds of penalties, which is probably 15 seconds of penalties, which has probably hurt his race a lot. But any driver is going to try and make a move work on the grass. Can he get it? Can he hold it? And yes, MC Hammer has been making a pullback with the better traction, and it appears that we are not going to be able to see where you make that move stick. We are going to jump on with ETSR Jensen, who appears to be 2/10 behind the light of R7 Luke. There we go. Looks like we are having a flourish of penalties coming in. ETSR Jensen is going to have DRS coming into turn 1 here. Following very closely indeed, but nowhere near close enough to make the move stick. Antonio, who made some brilliant moves earlier in the race, is following Gudenrab into sector 2, but doesn't seem to be putting too much pressure on the Red Bull. If we look at the battle for first, Weil is extremely close to XTR Red, and though it may not seem that the overtake is extremely necessary, considering the 12 seconds of penalties that XTR Red has occurred, any driver wants to finish first on track. It looks like coming into the straight with the power of DRS. If we can see how much ERS he has, plenty ERS, this move should be easy. It is easy, puts the car in the right position, gets a little bit deep, and it looks like XTR Red is going to be able to defend. But with the power of DRS, it appears that Weil might make it work around the outside. XTR Red on the inside, Weil on the outside, but he makes it stick on the medium tire. Brilliant, clean racing. Merc Fusion appears to be within that second place position. If XTR Red has any hopes of getting a decent position out of this race, he needs to create some space between him and some of the competitors behind. MC Hammer is extremely close to Martin of Tommy, and it does appear that a move will be made further on up the straight. Ooh, early. The DRS open on the first DRS straight, makes the move done, makes the move before the braking zone. Brilliant racing. And it doesn't look like Tommy has an answer, but he is closing the gap on the inside. No, that move was never going to work, and he has now compromised himself for the third DRS straight. No answer to MC Hammer's move done on the first opening pit lane straight. We are following Merc Fusion here, who is within half a second of Gudenrab. He's going to have the power of the DRS, going to have the power of the toe. Can see if it's going to be possible for a move to be made here by Merc Fusion. Closing the gap slowly but surely, but doesn't look to be able to make the move into turn 2. Goes extremely deep, and that is going to go straight to the stewards. He gives the position up, and hopefully that is enough for the stewards to decide not to penalize him. But Gudenrab's race has been significantly compromised in his chase of Weil and XTR Red. Antonio has also profited from this little accident there on turn 2. Oh, but Merc Fusion has a massive little twitch there of the rear tires, and Antonio takes full advantage of it and goes up into 4th place, but net P3 due to the 15 seconds of penalties by XTRA. If we drop down into 16, looks like we're having a little bit of a battle over here between the Mercedes and Matt of Haas. Hopefully we can see if a move is done up the straight, but we will have to just wait and see. With the power of DRS, we will be clocking a higher top speed, closing the gap between him and Matt. With the back-to-back DRS zones, a move surely will be possible. I am sure that the Mercedes will feel the power is deploying that ERS. Okay, it now looks like we are going to see if he's close enough, but it doesn't appear that he will be close enough unless he makes a massive dive bomb on the inside. No move will be done on this lap. Coming back to MC Hammer, it looks like he takes a position as R7 Luke goes into the pits. We set with Raga Ute, who we have not seen for a little bit in this race. He's extremely close to the Red Bull of Boon and Rav, and it looks like he's going to be able to make a very easy mover along the outside here. Completely ahead before the braking zone, made it stick. Easy racing, solid racing, good racing. Go back here with Weiji. It appears that we're going to have a little battle. No, lost too much traction there behind and lost a position because of it. Alright, we are now going to sit with Weil, who with the power of DRS should be able to make a move on XTRA. Close, but not close enough. But if he gets solid exits, should be able to make a move stick. Going on outside, and XTRA is going to try something on the inside. Solid side by side racing. And XTRA could not hold it along the outside. And it appears that we have a safety car. XTRA is going to dive into the pits. With 4 laps remaining, you can only wonder if this is the right decision. But with 15 seconds of penalties and the pack being condensed so much under the safety car, it may just be the right decision to put on those red lined soft tires. Weil, with 6 seconds of penalties, is definitely going to feel the pressure of Ragayut and Gun and Rav, who have no penalties at all. And even potentially the Aston Martin of Martin, who has 3 seconds of penalty, half of that of Weil. And it looks like we may have a brilliant final 2 or 1 laps under the safety. Hopefully we don't finish under the safety car, but I'm sure we'll have a good last 1 or 2 laps of racing. looks like the pack is condensed under the safety car here, and this little back group of cars led by Antonio should catch up to the safety car in the second sector. We have Wywall leading the pack with 6 seconds of penalties. Raga Ute in second, 0 penalties. Unionrab in third, 0 penalties. Martin in the Aston Martin with 3 seconds of penalties in fourth. And XTR Red with 20 seconds of penalties in fifth. Potentially out of the points if it stays as it does now. Weil gets an okay exit, but Raga Ute has been able to stick with Weil somewhat. Unionrab has seemed to have lost touch with the two, but if they do some racing, it may just give him the opportunity he needs to put his car in the right position and get first. But it looks like XTR Red is sending a move down the inside. Pure racer XTR Red is. Though your race may feel like the race is over with the 20 seconds of penalties, you still try put in the move. And it looks like we have a little tussle here between ECSR Jensen and R7 Luke. And ECSR Jensen seems to have won out. We are driving with Raga Ute, who seems to be quite in a very decent position behind the two leaders. Not too close, but definitely close enough to pick up that first place. Raga Ute is probably feeling it is necessary to make that move stick on. Unionrab is probably feeling it's necessary to make a move. Weil spins out, and it now puts Unionrab in net 2. It puts Unionrab in net P2, Raga in net 1, and Martin's odds of getting a podium today have moved up astronomically. That is heartbreaking for Wyman to spin out on the final lap. Are we going to see any moves into this last corner? We have some ghosting there, and it looks like we're going to have Stone Alk and Wedgie fighting for that final position in the points. It is close, nail-biting racing. And we have the Mercedes and McLaren side by side, and the Mercedes winning out. Looks like we may have, lost some traction there, Wedgie, but was able to keep it relatively clean. And spins it across the finish line. And that is our race, everyone. Raga Ute in first place in the AlphaTauri. Brilliant race. Controlled qualifying and came to the race and did what he needed to do. Followed by Unionrab. He had quite the comeback drive. Qualifying, not qualifying in the front row, but pulling it into second, with Martin in P3. Brilliant race, and just a show of putting your car in the right position at the right time to get a good outcome. We have followed by Feel the Power in fourth, Merc Fusion in fifth, followed by his teammate in sixth. We then have Madval in seventh, Stone Alk in eighth, R7 Luke in ninth, MC Hammer getting the last of the points in 10th. Well done to everyone who showed up today, and thank you for the race, and we'll see you next week. Driver of the day, Martin in the Aston Martin, and I can't say that I disagree. Brilliant.